Are you going to be buying into the most genuine long-term transformation, or is this just going to be another hype? Let's find out in this video. Okay, Vela Bay, one of the biggest hype project in the first half of 2026. I think we have mentioned about this project in our earlier videos, and I think we are just fresh off of the Pioneer launch, sold 92%. I spoke quite well of it, but I do think that it was a little bit expensive. It did get up to about 2,007 per square feet. So Vela Bay, will it be overpriced? What is the hype all about? So it's going to be very significant because it's going to be the first private condo launching in a very long time in a fresh new township that is going to be a sea view product. I think if you serve resale buyers like us on the ground, right, when the buyers say we want unblocked sea view or we want sea view, right, it's limited choice and not much choice. So this is going to be one of the very big hits because of this. So you're going to have first mover advantage. So it's not just going to be about Bayshore, Vela Bay in itself. I think it's going to be about Bayshore's transformation in totality. Bayshore is not a random plot of land. You know, some condos just one singular plot launch come out. This is going to be slightly different. It's a planned township. I think if you heard, there's a lot of hype around the Bayshore township. BTOs will be coming up. There's going to be linear parks, green spaces, educational plots, schools. There's going to be future integrated hub connected to Bedok South. There's just so many plans. The URA master plan has it all. And I think government wants to release a lot of BTOs in this area also. So it is not just, I won't say, don't just buy Vela Bay to face the sea. It's going to be entering a new township that happens to face the sea. And I think if you look at where we can find a similar example, a bit like Bidadari Estate. Bidadari Estate got no sea, but very similar growth story. It is a new township and now very hot lah. Huh? Can this be the next Bidadari? Why government want to do this with the Bayshore area? Okay, the Bayshore area is an extension of the Katong East Coast Estate. Over there, the Marine Parade, the Katong, the East Coast region, very densely populated. Okay, a lot of landed properties, a lot of condos, a lot of HDBs, and a lot of people want to stay in the east. So if the demand is growing, and there's just so limited land, where can all these people buy? So I think this Bayshore up and coming will solve this problem. So you can see already the TEL Thomson East Coast line is already happening, right? Your Tanjong Katong, your Katong Park, your Tanjong Ru, and now with the Bayshore, the MRT line will always come up first, and then after which, you know, everything around it, the infrastructure happens later. So I think Bayshore now is taking that infrastructure step to move the whole township up and coming. Okay, it's gonna have direct MRT access. Okay, so sea view MRT access, first mover advantage, I think really quite hard to find in Singapore's market lah.
So whether can buy or cannot buy, let's delve deep into this project itself. The site plan actually is very smart. So based on the preliminary site plan itself, right, the developer is very smart. So Vela Bay appears to be in a V-shaped kind of configuration. At first glance, it looks very unusual because normally you have two blocks that are parallel to each other. But over here itself, right, the developer chose to do it into a V shape. It's because, right, the main selling point of Vela Bay is the sea view. So by putting the two blocks into a V shape formation, essentially you can maximize the number of sea view units. 78% of the unit itself, right, or I would say maybe 80% of the unit will have the sea view. And the other 15 to 17% of the unit will get the low-rise unit. And the rest will be pool view. So essentially, almost every unit here will be a good view lah. And this also means that the developer essentially is maximizing the plot's bigger strength. It will help to strengthen the project identity. In the future, 10 years down the road, when people talk about sea view unit, Vela Bay will definitely be one of the projects that everyone mentioned. This will also support more uniform and sustainable pricing throughout the development. Because if you only have that few particular unit that faces the sea view, this premium facing unit will always be affected if your other units are not facing the sea and they command a lower price. So when resale buyers come in to view the project itself, right, first thing they always look at is the past transactions. So when you have a project with all, or rather majority all premium sea view facing unit, you will be ensured that the price itself is well supported. And sea view properties in Singapore historically has proven to hold very strong resale value. So if you look at the projects along Mayer Road as well as East Coast stretch, the current sea view facing unit constantly enjoys stronger price support. And especially when you have a good layout and livability. So this is a proven winning formula. Sea view plus good layout plus good livability. This is very strong resale value. As expected, launching price will be slightly below some of the more established coastal projects, while offering a similar key attribute. So a lot of buyers may feel that if Vela Bay were to launch currently, based on indicative on the ground feedbacks and all, it will likely launch around 2007 PSF. Okay, we will update if let's say we have a more accurate figure. But let's say it were to launch between 2007 to 2008 PSF. That sounds very aggressive for Bayshore. After all, just last year, Katong was around 25, 26 PSF. Bayshore being further out in the east, why is it going for 2007, 2008 PSF? So the question now is not whether Bayshore feels established or not, but whether it can be more valuable tomorrow, which means whether or not there is a strong exit strategy. Because whether or not a unit is expensive depends on the future value itself. So always focus on the value of the property itself and the exit strategy in the future. So Bayshore has something that these other areas that often don't have. One is, of course, a brand new township story. Which area like Mayor, Amber, or Katong have this transformation story? Not much. Furthermore, there's future population growth. It's not like the typical like old money rich kind of areas, but rather this area will likely have an influx of new BTOs owners. There'll be more youngsters, and this will be a brand new township on its own. So there will be future population growth that will spur the demand. There will be a much larger ecosystem that's built from scratch. So it starts from BTO to condo, and even there are already very well-established landed properties over there.
Right, but of course nothing is immediate. It takes time. I think initially a lot of buyers there will also feel quite resistant, like, wow, new record land, but we are the record setters per se. So this Bayshore thing is also going to be very similar. But as long as government wants to transform the area, inject township, inject BTOs, inject life there, then the buyer pool is already there. It's not as if like they launch this project, never announce anything else, and then let it be. It is together in tandem. So in future, your buyer pools are there. I think what you say is true. I think a very good example is the Bidadari Wuleh estate. Back then when Park Colonial launched, it was also setting all-time high record price. Very similar story. If you look back, I think every transformation story, right, mirrors something of the past. So if you look back at the Bidadari estate, the Wuleh area, last time also like that. Park Colonial was very expensive one. All the buyers feel like, wow, all-time high at this area, can make money or not? But you can go and see all of the transactions there are very profitable.
Would you rather buy something that's expensive but can exit in future? Or would you rather buy something that seems cheap but forever cannot sell? Which one would you rather be at?
As a whole, it seems like a very good proposition with this whole entire growth story.
Yes, and also being the first condo in Bayshore itself, right, Vela Bay would definitely benefit in terms of the first mover advantage. And it's because the new township itself, generally like I mentioned earlier, there'll be new HDB population, there'll be a very strong upgraders demand, and there is better infrastructure because after all, you are building a new township from scratch based on today's demand. And there will be better schools, park, and daily amenities already set up in the area. And at the same time, it established itself as a stronger, or rather it has a stronger identity as a residential area. So this creates a future ecosystem of demand whereby it is one whole cycle whereby you have upgraders and you have people that want to right size back into a suitable unit in the area. Right now, if you want a civil property, right, the only 99 years property that you probably can think about, right, please forgive me if I pronounce wrongly, Côte d'Azur. Okay?
Okay.
So if you check on the resale profitability of this project itself, it's performing very, 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 very well. Okay, reason being very simple. This is the only civil property that is probably at the entry price of the mass market. This is probably the number one pick when we talk about mass market buyers that want a sea view.
Right. So that's why I think we'll have evergreen demand.
This is the first project to be launched in Bayshore. Subsequently, there'll be more plots and more residential projects upcoming.
Then push the price up in a sense.
Correct. You only get more expensive lah.
So I think if it is the first plot, I'm quite sure that subsequent plots will continue to not only hold its price but inch upwards in price. So higher land price, eventually costs go up. I think subsequent launches will just go higher and higher. Then of course, looking at the future, right, the BTOs are not yet up. The demand is not yet present there, and this is what we are already looking at. So we ask ourselves this: in future, down the line, when the BTOs are all up and ready, everything is well connected, everyone in the township is there, and the BTO upgraders are ready to sell, where are they going to go for? And if there are going to be multiple condos in the Bayshore area, and that is a concern of some people, right? Likely which will be the cheapest in the whole Bayshore township? It might just be Vela Bay, right? So it is a different kind of first mover. I think it's first mover in the entire township. There is a difference, right? Like our Lentor Modern, also first mover in the township. Already, I think sub-sale people already profit and so off already. You have the smart site planning, like what Bobby was talking about, right? The way they angle it so that more people can enjoy good views. A lot of times when you're looking at such developments, right? You either get good view or you get not so good view. Then the not so good view demand is low, or the not so good view drags the whole project price down. So this one at least they try to maximize. So the smart site planning, the first mover advantage, the upcoming township, and I think the product concept fits into the entire East Coast living area. You can't take my word for it. You have to go down and see the show flat to really understand. But of course, end of the day, right? I think the final judgment cannot be called like that. It still boils down to the price. I think if the price is right, can enter. If you can buy any unit at Vela Bay at the price of, let's say, most expensive ceiling cap of Pinery, it's a no-brainer. So I think if over here you're entering slightly a hair higher, an inch higher, with the whole township, with the whole transformation happening, as well as everything that we mentioned before, then even slightly more expensive than Pinery, I think still considered good value. Based on all the metrics that we've discussed today, I think it's a no-brainer can buy lah.
So if you like to have more in-depth analysis of this unit, as well as for us to recommend you some plans as well as products based on your current requirements, feel free to hit us up, and see you in the next video. Bye.
Why I think the pent-up demand over here is crazy.
You crawl.
We crawl, okay lah, we don't crawl lah, we walk lah. Has almost all the components. You have almost everything. It is definitely going to be oversubscribed.